when I look back on where I think Bernie was at his strongest, but also his weakest, he was able to identify exactly what the problem was. He was really good at it. And I thought that his high point as a candidate came the night after he won the Michigan primary. And they came down to Miami to do that debate. I had never seen a candidate box another candidate into a corner for a knockout shot. And that's what he did to Hillary. He nailed her on everything. And when he pointed his finger at the camera, he says, I didn't get $250,000 for a speech from Goldman Sachs. He said I was dangerous. And he's right. I am dangerous for Wall Street. And I'm thinking, yeah, and he needed to continue to follow through on that. But where we stand today, we look back on what Clinton was able to do to this country over the course of the 1990s. NAFTA, normal trade relations with China, the Telecom Act, the crime bill, and the worst one of all, the removal of Glass-Steagall. And it comes full circle today. The Democratic Party is basically Reagan's Republican Party. And the Republican Party is now Trump's authoritarian party. And we do not have any real semblance of a social democracy, even a little bit. And so of all the people who, again, his social commentary is kind of out there, but I will give credit where credit is due. Stephen A. Smith, who is in a completely different world when it comes to sports, which is more my jam, but he made this statement on Pod Save America the other day, and it really resonated. And it's getting the Democratic Party establishment really uncomfortable right now. Good, because they have a lot to do with why we're here.
Are too busy trying to pick candidates for the American people instead of listening to the American people tell you who they want. The last Democrat that the American people told you they wanted was Barack Obama. Hillary Clinton, it's her turn. Bernie Sanders had momentum. It's Hillary's turn. Joe Biden captured momentum because Representative Clyburn got involved in South Carolina, saved his behind, but it's really, really his turn, okay? He has no business running for re-election, but everybody went for it, knowing he was supposed to be transitional. He's going to be 81 years of age. Then you sit up there. He doesn't have a primary. Then he goes on the debate stage, embarrasses himself. Then y'all still let him take 3 damn weeks to walk away instead of getting the hell out there immediately so you can see if there's somebody other than Kamala Harris who could be the Democratic nominee. Then she gets the nomination, and everybody wants to act like she's the rock star all of y'all wanted all along. Oh, my God, let's throw up our hands and just to say, hey, she is the one, when you know good and damn well that wasn't the truth.
It's not wrong.
No,
no,
not at all.
Totally right. Yeah, the Democratic Party does not represent the people. It represents the corporations. It represents their donors. People say the Democratic Party is kind of Republican light. It's always amazing to me that the Republican Party always kind of runs to the right. They get more I don't know. I mean, they get more corporate, or they get more. They move to the more extreme end of their party, and for Democrats, that would be the progressive end of their party. And Democrats never move to the progressive end because they're funded by the same corporations. And they wouldn't get any donations from the corporations if they started preaching a progressive line.
I am in commercial real estate. That is my life's work. I find that you have a choice to be ethical or not ethical. And when I think back to everything that transpired, and I don't want to assume that you knew this or didn't know this, but Jen did run for Congress twice against Wasserman Schultz, and I do give a lot of responsibility to her. I think she bears quite a bit of it because I think she was politically ambitious in her own way. I think she was anticipating a cabinet position as high as Secretary of State and was willing to do as many unethical things as possible to kneecap Bernie over the course of that run. But I will tell you, there was something really special about 2015 and 2016. It really captured the imagination of what this country is capable of being if it wants to be. I mean, I knew people that were setting up makeshift campaign offices for Bernie in their house for no money. They believed in his mission. They believed in his message. I wish we could recapture something like that again. I'm not convinced it's going to happen anytime soon in electoral politics, but I do believe that the energy is still there. The working class is desperate for change. We just have to figure out how we're going to get there. If that takes offering mini cups of Ben & Jerry's ice cream to every person who wants to get involved, then I say, damn it, let's do it, if that's what it takes.
I wish you still had control, because I had put in a flavor suggestion years ago, and I had this idea for a breakfast flavor that would be like a coffee and donuts and bacon thing. But
you know, I think there's some potential there.
Coffee, donuts, and bacon. Well, they say that bacon makes everything better, but, you know, to each their own, depending on whether they're meat eaters or not. Please ask Ben about Stampede, Stamp Mobile. Okay.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah.
What is that?
The Stampede is a group of people that are stamping paper currency with stamps that say things like stamp money out of politics, or not to be used for bribing politicians, or not to be used for buying elections. And people, you know, we had a stamp mobile that was going around the country that was, you know, it was kind of this Rube Goldberg machine that was doing the stamping to call attention to it. But you can go to stampstampede.org and you can get yourself a stamp, and you can make your statement on paper currency. That's what I do. And you know, once there's enough of us, and once there's enough paper currency stamped, you know, because it's getting a little easier to stamp a higher percentage of paper currency now, because there isn't that much of it around. I think we'll make a statement that the powers that be can't ignore.